Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk about the key art that was released for Marvel Future Fight for the Hulk update that includes, as of yet, still a mystery character. And a lot of people have already identified this character correctly based on comics from almost 10 years ago. Yeah, but a lot of people still don't know who it is, and I still get messages, not quite daily, but I still get messages here and there asking me who it is or guessing who it is. So let's start off by taking a look at the image in question. So this is the original key art. Again, beautiful artwork by whoever did this. Thank you, fantastic work for this game. Goes underappreciated every update, but they still do amazing work. And so we have Red She-Hulk over here, which is General Thaddeus Ross's daughter, Betty. We have Amadeus Cho, Brawn, who was one of the Hulks. We have, of course, Bruce Banner, the OG Hulk, now Immortal Hulk. We have She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. We have Abomination, Emil Blonsky, and then we have this guy over here, and we don't know who he or she or it is. And some people guessed that it was a uniform for Ghost Rider because of a flaming skull. Other people thought it was a uniform for Dormammu because it's a flaming skull. And other people are like, yeah, but flaming skull or not, the red and the black and the sort of the look of it looks kind of like a symbiote. Maybe it's for like Venom or Carnage, or maybe it's some sort of null variant or something like that. But then there's also like a chain. So it's very bizarre. There's a almost combination of different effects going on here. So we have a bunch more information. Again, we know who this is from the comics, but we also have confirmation, and we actually had confirmation earlier, but now we have reconfirmation. So I just decided to make this video because I was hoping that by now the dev note would have come out and the mid-month update we would know what it's about, whether we're getting Odin tier 3, whether we're getting that uniform, whether we're getting this character here. But now, at least for sure, with 100% certainty, we have the Marvel Games tweet from yesterday, from July 7th, I believe, or maybe that's today. No, that was yesterday. And they said over here, the Marvel Future Fight Immortal Hulk update is here. Don't miss new characters Abomination and Red She-Hulk. Yeah, we covered that. As well as new uniforms for Hulk, Red Hulk, She-Hulk, and Amadeus Cho. So this uniform right here, which is this character right here, is going to be a brand new uniform for Red Hulk. And Red Hulk has been neglected in the game for a long time. Red Hulk has not really ever been at the top of the meta. He got a decent upgrade years ago with the Marvel Now uniform that transformed him into a hero. He got some extra healing, he got some immunity on his third skill, and he was a decent Shadowland character like 3 years ago. But obviously the time has passed now. Hopefully he will also be getting his potential, because right now he can't go past level 60. Right now the Hulk, the Red Hulk, excuse me, is not a bad character, but he's just a character of a long time ago. You can see here, these effects only activate once the conditions are met. I'm not exactly sure how the overheat passive works, but this one has a 35% chance of activating when he's attacking. So the heal is actually not even guaranteed, which is really weird. But he's really just used for his leadership, the 60% increased fire damage to all allies. So he's an amazing leadership for Namor and other characters when you can't use Satana. But now we have Red She-Hulk, who has just a much better leadership than he does, because on top of having 65% fire damage and 25% HP, which is already way better than Red Hulk, she also has 30% HP to all allies and decreased damage received by 10%. So Red Hulk's going to have to do a lot in the leadership department if he wants to compete with his daughter as the Red, I don't know what to call it, Red Hulk symbiote of vengeance. So we're going to talk about who that is now. But yeah, they have to do a lot for Red Hulk to bring him up to snuff with characters. However, I will say I am optimistic that this uniform will be a huge buff for him, a la Rogue, a la Hawkeye, because the other uniforms we got in this update were all huge upgrades. She-Hulk's was probably the worst of the three, but even She-Hulk's uniform was a pretty substantial upgrade for the character. Now, if they do give Red Hulk a uniform similar to Hulk, Immortal Hulk, similar to Amadeus Cho Brawn, then it's going to be a massive, colossal upgrade for him. And honestly, it is what Red Hulk deserves. And it's kind of interesting that this Red Hulk, and I've sort of spoiled it already, but so this Red Hulk, essentially from the comics, is a combination, is a fusion of Red Hulk, Venom, the symbiote, and Ghost Rider. And it's interesting because those three thematic characters and sort of like larger group of characters, you can call them like a tribe of characters, like the symbiotes, the Hulkses, and the Ghost Riders, because we have, Robbie Reyes, we have regular Ghost Rider, etc. Those three different tribes, different groups of characters in Marvel are among the most popular in voting for reworks for Marvel Future Fight, right? We had a uniform for Hulk being asked for a long time, a uniform for Ghost Rider being asked for a long time, same thing with Venom and Carnage, and same thing with thematic updates. We got the Hulk one. Maybe down the road, in 2020 or later on, we're going to see a uniform, not just a uniform, but a whole update themed around either Ghost Riders and their reworks and upgrades and tier 3s and whatever, and then one for the symbiotes, maybe introducing some new symbiotes, etc. So I'm going to give you guys the rundown on how this character came to be in the comics. Spoilers ahead, of course. So if you don't want to know what happens, and if you don't want to see what this character looks like in the comics, then you want to pause the video and go and read it for yourself. I will tell you now that you can find the information over on Venom issue 10. This is where it sort of starts. You can start at Venom issue 1, but this is from 2011. So like I said, this is 9 years, almost 10 years ago. But it's actually not, it's not Venom Eddie Brock. It's Venom Flash Thompson, Eugene, and it is Agent Venom. But the way that it works with Agent Venom, at least here, is that he's Agent Venom when he's in control, and then when he sort of loses control, he becomes Venom. So it's sort of like stages or tiers of what's going on, but he's got the Agent Venom, but he's also got the Venom inside of him. It's a little bit confusing because in Marvel Future Fight, they separate the characters, and they are different people. You know, you have Eddie Brock Venom, and you have Flash Thompson Agent Venom, and Eddie Brock has his legs, and Flash Thompson doesn't have his legs because he lost them in the war. So they are different people, but it's just confusing that in this case, both Agent Venom and Venom are in the same place under the same host, Flash Thompson. You don't see Eddie Brock. So anyways, the story picks up. It's actually not that interesting, I have to say, but essentially Flash Thompson is tormented by the passing of a particular person, and then he gets involved with Jack-O-Lantern, who is a sort of serial killer, evil guy. He's a villain, but he's also a serial killer. Like, he's kind of worse than other villains. I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty dark story, to be honest, and it's pretty spooky, and it's quite mature. And so they get involved and they sort of work together. But Agent Venom, Flash Thompson's not really doing it out of want. He's sort of doing it out of necessity. There are some pretty nice panels art-wise, like this one here looks really cool, where, you know, Flash kind of gets sick of Jack-O-Lantern and turns on him. That looks absolutely amazing, I have to say. And if we had a Venom uniform like that, I would be super hyped because he looks jacked as hell. But then you also have some pretty, you also have some pretty sad ones like this one, but it's also very evocative and actually quite deep. You can see that's Flash Thompson, and he's sort of, you know, he's kind of, yeah, he's kind of having a hard time here. But anyways, so flash forward to the future, not the future in terms of, like, I'm just skipping ahead to the next issue. The story progresses rapidly after the first couple of issues, but you sort of do need to start around issue 10 or 11 to sort of get your bearings. But essentially, for various reasons, Red Hulk, X-23, and then the new Ghost Rider, Alejandra, they get sucked into this sort of conflict with Mephisto. And Mephisto is essentially trying to bring hell to Earth. And sorry, not Mephisto. Mephisto's son, Blackheart. This is Blackheart, by the way. So yeah, Blackheart is trying to sort of screw over his father, Mephisto, who is like the devil, whatever, the Lord of Hell. And he's trying to bring hell to Earth. And they start in Las Vegas, of course, because where else, right? The city of sin. So it's pretty funny in that way, symbolically. And so for one reason or another, Agent Venom, Red Hulk, Ghost Rider, Alejandra, but, you know, Johnny Blaze is somewhere else as well. He's sort of nearby. And X-23 are trying to stop Blackheart in one way or another. They don't necessarily have the same goals, but they sort of end up, you know, as unlikely allies. You know how that goes in comics, right? It's like, oh, well, your enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever. They're not, you know, actually what ends up happening is originally Red Hulk is trying to subdue and capture Agent Venom for going AWOL, absent without leave. But then he decides to join forces because there's a much bigger threat at hand, aka Blackheart and the forces of hell entering Earth. So lo and behold, what ends up happening is Doctor Strange and Damian get involved, Hellstorm. They get involved as well, trying to stop hell from spreading to all of Earth. And eventually, Ghost Rider, like the spirit of Ghost Rider, the spirit of vengeance, gets sucked out of Alejandra. And so she's sort of like temporarily dead. And then Ghost Rider, the spirit, is in like a little bottle. And then in the bottle, while Ghost Rider's in the bottle, the other four of them, Agent Venom, X-23, Red Hulk, and Ghost Rider, Alejandra, they get sent down to actual hell. And they get tormented in the sort of typical fashion where they see, you know, a life that looks really pleasant and nice, and then it turns into this really evil, twisted thing. Sort of the, you know, the way to psychologically torment someone by giving them something they want and then sort of corrupting it. So anyways, Mephisto makes a deal with them because he's pissed off at his son Blackheart trying to one-up him. It's sort of, you know, the whole father-son thing. And so he essentially helps the heroes after he brings them down to hell, and he sends them back. So he sends them back up, and then they get into a scuffle, and Ghost Rider gets sent loose, and right there, so there's Agent Venom, there's Red Hulk, Blackheart setting him away, and there's the vial that contains Ghost Rider. Then they, you know, they get together and they make the spirit, the symbiote of vengeance, Red Hulk plus Venom plus Ghost Rider. And this is the character that we will be seeing, and that's Alejandro right there, depowered. That's the character that we will be seeing here. Now, here's the thing. I read through all these issues, and I was expecting this huge, like, awesome fight with Ghost Rider, Venom, Hulk. I don't know what we're gonna call this, the symbiote of vengeance, and Blackheart. And you don't get it. I'm sorry. So I can save you guys the reading if you don't have a lot of time to read. But there's basically like 2 good panels. There's 2 or 3 good panels in this fight. There's like this one here where he's like driving up onto Blackheart, and he like webs him with some flaming webs, and then that's about it. There's not that much. It's kind of disappointing. For all of this build up, there's a lot of build. There's Johnny Blaze. For all this build up and for all this sort of hype and for how cool the character looks, I really feel like the writers didn't do enough. I'm not saying that they had to do a whole spin-off comic of this symbiote of vengeance and like send him on his adventures. Obviously, tying up 4 separate characters into one is a bit of a pain in the ass, and trying to sort of, you know, wade through the complications of having multiple minds and multiple, you know, whatever melded into one is obviously a headache for any writer. But they could have done more. I feel like they could have done a little bit more, and they could have really taken advantage of a character that's really cool, and they just don't. They don't really explore anything. You get a little bit of webbing, you get a little bit of the penance stare, and that's it. And then the fight's over. So I was a bit disappointed for the comics. However, that doesn't really matter because we're getting it in Marvel Future Fight. So we don't have to be disappointed, because as long as he is a badass in Marvel Future Fight as a uniform, then all should be good. Now, whether they make him a hero or a villain is honestly up in the air. I'm guessing I'm leaning towards Red Hulk becoming a hero, because he's technically the hero of the story, because he stops Blackheart and he stops the encroaching, you know, spread of hell onto Earth. That sounds like a hero to me. However, original OG Red Hulk is a villain. Original Venom in Marvel Future Fight is a villain. Okay, Ghost Rider's obviously a hero, but you got 2 out of 3 who are already villains. They made Immortal Hulk a villain. So, yeah, I can't guarantee or say with absolute certainty that Red Hulk is, well, symbiote of vengeance, Red Hulk, Venom, Ghost Rider is going to be a hero. But I'm sort of putting my money on it, or I would lean towards it with the majority of my thinking skills, my critical analysis. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's pretty interesting. I like the character, and I think the character will play really well and will look really cool in the game, and I can't wait to actually play with the character and see their skills and sort of animations and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like it's going to be a mix of Venom and Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is really, really cool. Maybe they'll try to bring the bike back, because as you saw in the comic, the bike is a pretty big part of the character. It would be cool if they were, you know, sort of behind the scenes working to improve the animations and the textures on Cosmic Ghost Rider's bike, and then they bring back both Cosmic Ghost Rider's bike and Red Hulk Symbiote of Vengeance bike, because they're quite similar. Oh, you can't even see the bike anymore, right? They're quite similar, I would say. The bikes are quite similar, obviously, because it's Ghost Rider. And yeah, hopefully the devs weren't too disheartened by my criticism of the way that the bike looked. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments down below. Are you hyped for Red Hulk, Venom, Ghost Rider? That's hard to say, I have to say. I don't know what I'm going to do for YouTube titles. Anywho, hit me up in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.